Today I want to dive deep into a comparison between two of the most popular Dallas suburbs that everybody is talking about. We are diving into the differences between the city of Frisco and the city of Prosper, Texas. Talking all things North Dallas suburbs and which one could be the right one for you. So if you're trying to decide between which one you should choose, well, this is going to be the video that you are going to want to stay tuned for. Now, we are going to cover everything from the location and the cost of living to the schools, our lifestyle, and what each of them really feels like to live in. So stick around. Now, when it comes to living here in the DFW Metroplex, two major cities come up quite often in the conversations that I am having with people considering making a move here. Now, both Prosper and Frisco are two of the fastest growing suburbs here in North Texas. And they do continue to attract homebuyers looking for high quality communities and excellent schools, and also some strong investment potential. But each one of them is going to have its own uniqueness and vibe. So what really is the difference between living in Prosper and living in the city of Frisco? There are certainly going to be some similarities, but over the last couple of years especially, the real estate trends show differences in home values, the market activity, and the price stability. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the demographics to kind of give you an idea of the differences. Now, the city of Frisco currently has a population of around 218,000 people, and it is over 69 square miles. Now, Prosper, on the other hand, fairly newer, it only has a population of over 35,000 people, this is currently, and a size of just over 25 square miles. So those right there are certainly some big differences in the size and in the population. Now let's dive into the location. Now, the city of Frisco is about 25 miles north of downtown Dallas, and it does sit next to the cities of Plano and McKinney. It is a growing hub for those that may have moved here and want to be close to work because their employment has brought them here to the North Dallas area, and they don't have to actually go and work downtown. But also you can still be relatively close to Dallas, just not having to actually be in the heart of it. Now, the city of Frisco is also connected to major highways. The Dallas North Tollway does head north and south almost right through the center of the city of Frisco. And the 121 Tollway does go down along the southern border of the city of Frisco. But two tollways, and it's really kind of all you get. But because of the freeway access, it could make commuting relatively easy unless you're further over on the far west side or the far east side, and you really kind of have to get all the way through the city to get down to one of the freeways or over to the Dallas North Tollway, for example. Now, the city of Prosper, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit further north, and it does border Frisco on the north side. And it is going to take you maybe about 35 miles to get to downtown Dallas, but that is obviously going to be with no traffic. So Prosper is not going to be nearly as centrally located as the city of Frisco, but it is going to offer you a little bit more of a quiet suburban feel than the city of Frisco does these days. You are going to be able to find that more so by living and moving over to the city of Prosper, especially because of the growth that has not quite happened in Prosper just yet the way Frisco has. Now, you are going to be further from some of the major shopping and dining hubs if you're living up in the city of Prosper, but it is continuing to grow, and it does have, a small selection of restaurants and things that are coming into the area. But if you really do want more fine dining opportunities and you want more excitement and entertainment, you are going to want to head down to Frisco and obviously down into Dallas or other areas here in the DFW Metroplex. But Prosper is still going to give off that small town feel, but you're going to have some easy access to get over to Frisco, which could still make it a great choice for people looking for that slower pace of life. All right, so if you do need to be closer to some of the action and you're okay with the growing and more of that urban vibe that Frisco is becoming, then you might want to focus your home search on just Frisco in particular. And if you are moving to the DFW area and you want that slower pace of life, well, head up a little further north and check out the city of Prosper. Now, if you're here and you're on my channel and you're considering moving, obviously you need to know information about housing. So let's talk a little bit about the cost of living and what it's going to cost you to purchase a home in both of these cities. Now, the city of Frisco has a median price point of $698,000, give or take a couple bucks. And currently there are over 700 active homes on the market and over 140 homes that are new construction. Now, you are going to find prices ranging from around $340,000 to, yes, almost $9 million. Now, in the city of Frisco, you're going to find a lot of these big estates and some of these gorgeous, which absolutely stunning, custom gated communities. And if you really want a lot more of that luxury living, well, you're going to be finding that in the city of Frisco. So if you have a higher price point, you want access to everything, certainly you're going to want to check out Frisco. Now, if you are looking for new construction in particular though, the prices in the city of Frisco are ranging from around $469,000 to, like I said, almost $9 million. But again, that's for almost a 10,000 square foot custom built home on a huge lot in a gorgeous luxury gated community. Now, the median rent in the city of Frisco is around $2,900 a month. And also, the city of Frisco is going to have some lower property taxes. In fact, they just lowered those a little bit more, but you're going to be paying less than 2%, obviously depending on the neighborhood and the schools and where you are at in Frisco, because it is part of Collin County and part of Denton County. Those are going to fluctuate just a little bit, but you're going to have some lower taxes if you are moving to the city of Frisco. And again, those are all going to be dependent on what type of exemptions you are going to be able to get if you're looking to move here and need your personal residency or an investment property. So just a heads up on that. That always makes a difference when you're making a move here. Now, for the median price point of a single family home with new construction in the city of Frisco is just over $1 million. So can't really get a whole lot of options in single family homes for under $1 million, but there are some townhouses and some smaller homes that you can still find in Frisco. Frisco is going to offer you a lot of opportunities in all kinds of price points. If you are looking for just apartment living or luxury condos, you can still find those in Frisco, as well as plenty of townhomes, condos, single family homes, and again, luxury custom homes in Frisco as well. Frisco is also going to have multiple gated neighborhoods, so truly luxury living is where it's going to be at in the city of Frisco versus the city of Prosper. Now, the median price point of homes up in Prosper is almost at $900,000. Prices are going to range from around $375,000 to about $3.6 million. And currently there are over 325 active homes on the market and 98 of them are new construction. And the prices for the new construction are going to range from around $436,000 to about $1.6 million. Now, all of these really are more of your production builders, not truly a completely custom home build up in Prosper. You can find a few of those, but it's just not nearly as plentiful as you're going to find down in the city of Frisco. Now, the median rent up in Prosper is now upwards of around $3,200 a month, and your property taxes are definitely going to be over the 2% mark up in the city of Prosper as well. You're also going to find a lot of newer master plan communities up in Prosper, so you're probably going to have higher HOA fees. Again, that is going to be all dependent on the community and the area that you're living in, because of course, if you're going to go down to Frisco into one of the luxury gated communities, you're going to have some pretty high HOA dues down there. But up in Prosper, you are also going to have some communities that do have the additional taxes that we talk about here a lot in the state of Texas, and those are going to be your MUD tax and your PID tax. So taxes are important. Reach out to me, let me know, and we can talk through all of the taxes and different options in all of these different communities, whether it is in Frisco or in the city of Prosper. Now, as for the median price of new construction up in the city of Prosper, we're looking at around $933,000. So prices are pretty high if you're looking to move to the North Dallas area. You are going to get some homes on larger lots and a lot more newer homes, and some of the most popular, unbelievable master plan communities are up in the city of Prosper. Yes, we still have some great ones down in Frisco too, but with all of the growth and all the communities coming in, amenities are kind of next level in a lot of the communities up in Prosper. So you're also going to find a lot more of those modern type amenities in these master plan communities, and you're still going to be able to keep with some of that charm of small town living and living out in the suburbs. So you're going to kind of have the best of both worlds, depending on which community that you are considering. There are still a lot of new construction communities that are still slated to be built up in the city of Prosper that will be coming over the next, 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And the housing market is just going to continue to grow up in Prosper for a number of years. Now, you're not going to have a lot of the immediate conveniences though up in the city of Prosper as you're going to have down in Frisco, but Costco and H-E-B are coming, so all will be right with the world. And obviously there'll be more shopping and dining options to come in Prosper down the line as well. Now, another thing about Frisco and housing, if you're going to have some of these lower price point of homes, you're going to have a lot of communities that have some older type neighborhoods. Maybe you need to do a little bit of renovation, or maybe the house needs a total gut job. But you can find a lot of these older homes in Frisco. So if you really want to go in just to move into the area, you're going to find a number of those options in Frisco as well. But with new construction, both are going to be pretty comparable. Frisco, again, is going to have custom homes and gated communities. Prosper is not really going to have those like Frisco does. But you are also going to have the conveniences and access to a lot more of the modern amenities if you are going to think of moving over to Frisco. So let's dive into schools, because if you're moving here with kids and you are really dialed in on the type of education that you can provide for them, well, what are you going to get between the city of Frisco and Prosper? Now, according to niche.com, Frisco does get an overall A+ rating, and I will say so does Prosper. And the Frisco ISD is ranked number 12 in the entire state of Texas out of over 880 school districts. It is also going to have a lower ratio of students to teachers, and that is going to be 17-1. And all these numbers are according to niche.com. Now, Frisco ISD is a very large school district, and it also has a ton of schools. There are over 67,000 students registered in Frisco ISD, and that is covering over 70 schools. There are 12 high schools, 16 middle schools, and 43 elementary schools. So the student body is also a lot smaller in the high schools in the Frisco area as well. Frisco is home to some of the best public schools in Texas, with Frisco ISD earning really high marks for not only their academics, but also all of the extracurriculars that they offer. Frisco ISD is also very family oriented, with a lot of different parks all throughout the city, as well as tons of kid-friendly activities and museums, sporting events, and things that you can go do with your family, and a ton of different community events throughout the year, not only within the city of Frisco, but within a lot of the neighborhoods throughout Frisco as well. All right, so the city of Prosper, how does that compare with the schools? Well, like I said, Frisco does get an overall A+ rating according to niche.com, just like Frisco ISD does, but they're currently ranked at number 24 here in the state of Texas, and the student to teacher ratio up in Prosper is 21-1. Yes, more people are coming in. Every time a home sells, more people bring their kids. The schools can't keep up the way the city of Frisco has all of their students registered in their different high schools, but Prosper ISD is continuing to grow, and it is consistently ranked as one of the fastest growing school districts in all of Texas, as well as throughout the entire country. Back in 2000, Prosper ISD had fewer than 1,000 students registered in their school district. And today, we are now at 2025. It serves over 31,000 students, with projections to reach around 50,000 students within the next decade. So tons of growth still to happen in the city of Prosper. Now, to accommodate all of the growth that is happening in Prosper, they are building schools like crazy and really kind of trying to push those along. And Prosper ISD will be opening up 4 new schools in fall of 2025, which will bring their total to 30 schools in the Prosper ISD school district. They're going to have 2 new elementary schools, as well as a 6th middle school and a 4th high school as of August 2025. Now, Prosper ISD has gained a lot of attention for its academic performance and its growing sports programs. Just check out the Prosper football stadium. Everything is bigger here in Texas, and the sports and different things are growing all throughout Prosper ISD as well. Now, the school district is currently much smaller than Frisco's, even though their high school populations are larger than what you might find in Frisco, but it still can feel a bit more tight-knit, which can be great for kids who do prefer to have more of that personalized experience in their school system. Now, for Prosper and Frisco, both cities are going to be great for families, but Frisco is going to have more options in terms of schools and their extracurricular offerings, and Prosper is going to offer a lot more of that community-driven school environment where it still feels kind of like a small town. So just a little bit of a difference that we have noticed in talking with different people who live there and people who have moved there and put their kids in some of these schools. So just something to be aware of and people's opinions between the two. Now, let's talk a little bit about lifestyle, because if you're going to move to an area, what is it that you're going to be spending your time doing? Now, the city of Frisco is a city that really has become one of the most desirable places to live here in all of DFW. It is known for having more of that modern vibe because a lot of things are newer and they're redoing a lot of the things in the city of Frisco. It has a huge sports culture and a lot of the rapid development, not only with housing, but also with commercial opportunities and the businesses that are coming into the city of Frisco. They also have a ton of shopping and dining and entertainment options. Now, for shopping, you have places like Stonebriar and the Star, which is where the Cowboys are located. If you want to go check that out, maybe watch practice sometime. It's also now home to the PGA headquarters, and Universal Studios is coming in, and even bigger is going to be the Fields development and all that it has coming over the next few years. Now, Frisco is definitely going to be a very busy city that has brought in a lot of corporations, and it is going to offer a lot to do for not only young professionals, but also families and even those who might be retired but still want to have an active lifestyle. Now, Prosper, on the other hand, since it's still continuing to grow and it is growing rather quickly, you are still going to get the feeling of living out a little bit more in the suburbs and a little bit quieter lifestyle. If you want a wider selection of maybe the restaurants, things to do, you're going to have to head down south to be able to find that. You don't really have a lot of the large shopping malls. You're gonna have your home goods, TJ Maxx, Target, and all of those everyday necessities that you're going to need up in Prosper, but real shopping, you're going to want to be heading down further south. Also, all of the local businesses up in Prosper that are there are definitely more laid back and not quite as commercialized as you're going to find down in Frisco. But Prosper is going to be a great place if you're looking for a little bit more peace and quiet and you don't want to be surrounded by all of the busy city life and the crazy traffic that you're going to have all day long, every day on all of the streets throughout the city of Frisco. And because of the growth though, you have a lot of construction that you do have to deal with, and the traffic around town is not quite as fun up in Prosper as well. But as for the lifestyle, Frisco is definitely going to be for those that are going to crave a lot more of the amenities and a lively environment and being able to be surrounded with tons of things to do. But Prosper is going to be more for those who enjoy the quieter, more calm things in life. But you still are able to experience a lot of the community charm, and it is not too far away to go and experience all of the activities down in Frisco and other places here in DFW. Now, as we talk a little bit about the pros and the cons between the two, Frisco is going to be very well connected. It has amazing schools, great job opportunities, and tons of entertainment. And it's perfect for people who love the busy lifestyle, who are always on the go and they want more of that modern city. It is a much larger city than the city of Prosper, and depending on which side you live on and how bad the traffic it is, that could also play a factor into it. But you're also going to have those lower property taxes down in the city of Frisco. As for some of the cons, is going to be maybe the cost of living. Trying to find the newer homes for the same prices down in Frisco. Prices are continuing to go up if you're looking for new construction, or if you do have a lower budget and some of those homes might be a little bit dated and you don't really get quite as much down in the city of Frisco. And if you're living down in Frisco, that traffic can get a little bit congested, because if you're pretty far from a freeway, it's going to be a lot of traffic getting through all of those stoplights just to get over to the freeways. And you're really gonna only have the access to the toll roads, especially during those peak hours, and it's just not gonna be very fun. But Prosper, on the other hand, if you do want that a little bit more affordable place to live with some excellent schools and a growing community, Prosper is going to be a really great choice. It's got a slower pace. It's perfect for those who love small town living. However, on the other hand, because you're so far north, you don't really have the freeway system up in Prosper. Just getting down across the 380 or over to the toll road is going to not be super fun, especially if you are having to commute during any sort of rush hour traffic. But you're also not going to have the amenities that you're going to have in other areas. So you might need to travel quite a bit of distance just in order to enjoy some nightlife, some better restaurants, and all of the shopping that you might need. Now, at the end of the day, trying to choose between Frisco and Prosper is going to come down to your lifestyle preferences. Whether you're picking a community with growth opportunity and a quality of life that is honestly probably tough to beat, it is also going to be all about what you value most. Maybe you want a more quieter, spacious environment, or maybe a fast-paced, entertainment-filled city that is going to always be on the move. Now, Frisco is going to give you the convenience of a vibrant city and that atmosphere and everything that has to offer. So if that's what you're looking for, that could be the right fit. But if you are after more peace and quiet and you want that tight-knit community feel that still feels a little bit more like a small town, Prosper could be the one you may want to check out. So what do you think? Have you lived in Frisco? Have you lived in Prosper? Because I actually have friends who lived in Frisco and have moved to Prosper to get a new construction home, to maybe upgrade. And there are definitely pros and cons from everybody about which place is going to be the best. So I would love to know your thoughts if you have any experience, if you've moved to any of them, or maybe your questions about which one might be right for you. So don't forget, like this video, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be talking all about the different areas to live and what it's like living here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and in all of the suburbs around, and I would love to hear from you. And don't forget, you can scan the QR code here on my video that will take you to my website, where you can do all the research that you could possibly want about where to live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So any questions, reach out day or night, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and until next time,